Hi, happy Friday, everyone. I am going live today because I have so many updates to share. The last 2 weeks, I went live and did some dotting, and I considered doing that again today. However, there's just so many things to pass on to you that I felt I just need to go on and talk and share. So, these are a number of things that I have been working on, and I wanted to make sure I'm doing my best to communicate it with everybody. I even have a list here with me to make sure I touch on all of them. And I hope that they will be supporting you if you are continuing your journey with Dot Mandalas. I am hopeful that we can continue to be engaged with each other, and that the things that I'm putting out into social media and on my newsletter and the website are of service to you in some way. So I will start with the first thing is I've been working to make a number of changes and shifts. As if you've been following my journey, you know. One of the things that became clear over this spring is that it was important to me to shift away from having physical products. There's a number of reasons, and I'll probably be open and sharing here some of my journey with you. And I'm just checking to see if I keep peeking down, it's because I'm looking to see if there's any comments. Please feel welcome to ask a question as I talk about different things, and I'm going to do my best to kind of, be engaged with you here and look down at my computer and see what comments are maybe popping up. So yes, over the spring, it became clear to me that one of the things I needed to shift away from was having physical products. And that took a lot of faith to move away from physical products, because for a long time, they had been a big source of revenue. In the early year, it was probably a full year, the production of tools back in 2016-17 was the only income in my household. It employed both myself and my life partner, Steve, who made all of the tools. As things evolved out in the world and more people started catching on to Dot Mandalas and more competitors arose, there became less of a demand for our tools. It put quite a financial strain on our family, to be quite frank and open and honest. And the vision that I had had of expanding and growing in a way where it was based on production of physical items, I had to be willing to let go of that dream. And so I did. So I have made some adjustments so that I can continue to show up within this platform and related to Dot Mandalas, and still offer the things that I feel very drawn to, that are my strengths and are still the ways that I can be of service to you and to others if they feel drawn to creating. So one of the things I've done is create, I have a printout here. These are printable guides. These are free, and there is one for the set of 7 dotting tools and one for the set of 8 dotting tools now as well. So both of those sets of tools partner with the system that I developed, and the guides will lead you through developing your own set of tools with a combination of household items and styluses. Most likely you'd have to purchase a stylus, which is the ball-tipped tool. So those are now available on the website. As well, I had got into producing circles and squares that were made out of wood, and my life partner helped with that as well back before we made these changes to our family work structure. He doesn't work anymore for me or with me. He has other employment. So I have made templates that are completely downloadable, and you can print them off and put them on, I would suggest, a heavier type of paper, and that way you can have them instantaneously, and they are a duplicate of the physical version I was producing, but they're in a form that you can have instantaneously and use right away And you can even, what's kind of nice about those is make multiple copies so that you can make, have the same size dot, because they make big size dots, and have them, laid out in your piece. So that's the first thing. If you have any questions about that, whether you're watching live or you're watching the playback, let me know. All of my patterns are now finished being updated and re-released on the website. So one of the things that I transitioned from that was very challenging for me as well, a lot of these things are about my personal journey and my personal level evolution. So throughout the spring, I decided to shut down the giving component that was related to the work that I was doing. It made sense for a number of reasons on a logistics level, because there were, of course, many issues around concerns of things traveling to people due to COVID, and a number of items, the last part of the physical items I sent out, including the mandalas of hope, actually were returned back to me due to COVID. So that was a small portion of it, but it also was about my personal evolution. And one thing I'll talk about a little later after I go through a couple of points related to Otana is that my work that I have been doing has been in parallel. As Otana evolved, I personally have been on a journey as well. So I have realized some things around that program that were the reasons why I felt drawn to do those in the world. And I know that they helped a number of people. The programs around giving and using dot mandalas to connect. They were very, very important to me and to people who were involved and people who received them. However, that program took enormous amounts from me that was beyond what was healthy. It cost thousands of dollars to do. And when I look back on it, I realized it was coming from a place that it continued to come out from me and was not, in a way, positive in some levels. I wanted it to be positive for me, and it was in many ways, but it was taking and taking and taking and taking in a number of different facets from my life. So I shut down the program throughout these last few months. And so I was left with, what if that's stripped away from the work that I am doing, what is left, and what am I here to do? So that's really been the transition that I've gone through in answering and finding those questions. And what I was left with is that I am, at my core essence, a person who is here to connect with people and help make connection. And that was showing up within those programs. However, the reality was I wasn't getting the opportunity any longer to connect with people. I was spending more and more time isolated and creating designs and fueling the financial component to try to keep up with the demands required for that program. And I have realized that I really want to be present and be engaged with the community of people who are here. And I really feel that that is where I can be of service. So as I figured that all out, I redid the entire website, and I have replaced and put up all of the patterns that were there, removing the wording that said that they were supporting financially, as they did. The purchases did support a giving program. And I've removed that wording so that people will know that that program is no longer in place. I had worked with people around the world to train them in how to use the pattern system I developed, and had created patterns in collaboration with those individuals. So I am in the process now of connecting with them and figuring out what is the best way to move forward to honor their work and to honor where they are and I am in our journeys. So you will not see their patterns right now on the website, and you can just rest assured that we are in communications and very happily working through, very respectfully, how we are going to now move into a next stage for everybody involved in that. So you will find patterns organized by beginner, intermediate, and advanced. They're all up on the website, and there's approximately 170 of them there. I'm just checking to see if there's any questions. All right. So one just tiny thing, tiny compared to the big things I'm sharing, is that I have a Toonie of the Week pattern. I'm playing around with seeing if that is engaging for people to have something like that every week where they can look forward to a focus on one particular design, have a bit of a discount, think about how that may help them on their journey. So the one that is for sale for this week is posted on the link in this video. All right, so sharing your story. So one of the things I was just kind of touching on that has come through for me to focus on in any aspect of my work, whether I'm showing up here for you, whether I am showing up on my new page that I'm going to be speaking about, or if I am substituting. I'm balancing all these different things in my life right now, working to sort through exactly how the universe is pulling me to be in the world in this version of myself as I am in 2020. So those are the platforms of where I get to play. And it's very clear to me that it is important to focus on building community, building engagement, and serving in whatever way that looks like. And it may look different here than it would if I show up as a substitute teacher. I like to call myself a guest teacher, but sorry, I don't know why I'm so hoarse. I'm going to just get a little drink of water. So I am a person who is very much drawn to engaging with people and teaching people, facilitating a space where people can come together. And so it is my intention to see how I can show up and do that now here in Otana. I have posted today a post that I am welcoming you to find and engage in if it speaks to you. And it's all about where did your journey with dot mandalas begin? And I share my journey. There's 3 guiding questions that I've included on the post. The post is here on Facebook and it is on Instagram as well. And it's an invitation for you to consider that period of time in your life when you started painting dot mandalas, and to read and see from other people, how did this happen for them? All of us, I believe, it would be accurate, have found this craft, hobby, soul expression in the last 5 years of our lives. And it's not an accident that you're listening to this or that we all are gravitating to it at the same time. It's not an accident that it just ballooned like crazy around the world. So I invite you to engage in that if you feel to. The other thing to mention is that, as I've already pointed out, I'm exploring showing up in a new capacity. And if that feels like something that you're interested in, I've put links below. I really feel to be present on YouTube, which is taking vulnerability and courage, as my journey often does. And I've had to learn a number of new skills, and I'm just tiptoeing into it. If it interests you, or if you feel just to support me in the journey that I'm going through, which would help me to in turn reach other people, then you can follow and subscribe on YouTube to the Otana channel if you haven't already, and my Ginger LeBoutelier channel. I have 1 subscriber right now, and it's myself. I went on as Otana and subscribed to myself on my Ginger LeBoutelier channel. So it's taking me a lot of strength, courage to say, I am going to start a new platform and allow my journey to be of service. I have gone through a lot in the last 4 years to get me to the place that I am, and I'm continuing to evolve. And as I show up in 2020, it is my feeling that there are other people who are being called to show up in new ways, and that the experiences that I have gone through in developing the Otana platform can be of service in helping them find and project and expand their voice. So that's the work that I know that's going to come through over on the Ginger LeBoutillier page. And again, even if it's not your niche, you would be supporting people and myself in finding our voices just by liking it in these early stages. I would be appreciative of that. I'm just looking at people's comments. Thank you so much, Diana and Flor, for your comments. I truly appreciate it. So my invitation to you is to become engaged in the posts. That is the work that I'm going to be doing. It's a complete flip. It's like flipping everything on its head, because I've gone away from physical products. I'm not spending my time focused on more and more creativity of more patterns, which was for me isolating myself. I want to be here for you. I want to be here for the people who haven't even found this community yet. And I want to be present in those other platforms that I mentioned to you. And I'm just navigating my way through which ones, how much of my time and my week go into each one. So I appreciate everyone who has listened to this. I appreciate your patience. As I've gone through my journey, I appreciate you. Sorry. To shut everything down in February took a lot of strength. And I was extremely worried that it would mean that I would lose all of you. And that was hard to be willing to go through that. But I had to. Something different was ready to emerge. And that was what I needed to do for it to come through. And the fact that you're even listening this far into a video to hear me say this means so much. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you being part of my journey in whatever way is connecting us. And this is a time where we need to focus on that. I'm just going to see if there's any other comments. Wonderful, thank you. It's so wonderful. We've got people from Mexico and Netherlands. So thank you for listening, and you'll be seeing more of me in different ways, whether it be in written, video posts, that kind of thing. So thanks again, everyone. Big, big love from Nova Scotia, Canada. I hope you are all staying safe. Mwah.